Good evening. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Monday night live stream. Myself, Tom, of course, Pizarro's Pieces is live on the YouTube and Facebook pages as always. Now, as always, I must let people know that this is an adult themed show, so do expect swearing. And also, this is live, so we do not know what's going to happen, anything. It's gone a bit messy the last couple of weeks on my behalf. So we actually do not have a special guest tonight, unfortunately, and I'll go into a little bit more detail shortly. But as always, without further ado, let's bring the man of the moment in, the myth, the legend, Mr. Big C. What's going on?
Evening all. How is everyone?
Good. All good. Right,
I was just saying for you. There you go.
I was just saying, Big C, that obviously we haven't got you know what? I'm just going to say about the hat. You've gone back to week one, haven't you?
So basically, I just went back to an old favourite. You know, I've got to the point now where, like I say, we're down to the last couple of shows, running out of hats. But next week, I've got a proper one, Tom. I've got a really good one that everyone's going to love, and I'm saving that for the finale. So yeah,
wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously no guest this week, Big C. We decided that for everyone who's watching, we was meant to have Craig, obviously the owner of Nerd Base, the shop. Unfortunately, he's just moved house, and his internet is not actually live until Wednesday.
Bit like your internet, Tom, by the sounds of it.
Listen, I'm
non-existent.
I'm running on Stone Age internet here, mate. Don't worry about that. So we decided during the week, me and you obviously decided that we would just go it. We'd just go. Me and you just go this week.
Look, I think, like I say, we're down to the last two now. So it's a good opportunity for me and you just to do one. We get to interact with everyone a lot more, you know, because otherwise, you know, we've got a guest on, you know, they're the focal point. They get the questions, you know, a lot of the buzz is generated around them. So yeah, it's a good opportunity for us to get in front of everyone. Good evening, Dark Lycan.
Definitely, yeah. Good evening, all. Good evening, Pete, PG Westy.
Sort my camera out, keeps falling, Tom. I'm having technical issues like yourself here, aren't I?
Mate, I'm constantly having technical issues. Evening, Adam. Evening.
Evening.
Nadove. Tats and Toys.
Evening, Rob.
He's missing EastEnders. You're not missing You're not missing anything, mate.
Come on,
really? Then are you? Come on, mate.
EastEnders is finished these days, isn't it?
It's garbage, mate. It's garbage. I heard the other day that Phil's doing catting now these days.
I'll tell you something now. He is the best thing about EastEnders, and it probably always has been. I actually think that Phil Mitchell is a brilliant actor, and it's a shame he's typecast now. He could go to Hollywood, Tom.
Oh, fucking hell. I don't know, mate. I don't know. Got Mr.
Good evening, Brad there. Theo.
Theo, how you doing, Theo?
My man Theo there.
Two can play that. Evening, Colin.
Good evening, Colin. No hat tonight from Colin.
Your halo is shining brightly tonight, Tom. Is that what's behind me?
Yeah, you look like an angel, don't you? But really, you're just a mattress dumper, aren't you? Hey, he's the only angel I know that dumps mattresses.
behave. Evening, Amar. Everything toys and movies. How you doing, brother?
Hello, Amar.
Big goofy C. Big goofy
Cheers.
C.
It's Pluto, Pete. But yeah, I see where you're coming from.
It is Pluto, ain't it? Yeah.
See where he's coming from there.
Evening, Scott. Oh, why would you want to watch West Ham for? Mate?
He's got the West Ham. He's got West Ham on.
Fucking hell. Throwing it back with the hat.
Yeah. Back to, like Tom said, back to week one.
That's it. Evening, Darren.
Evening,
Carlos. Dark Lycan. Evening.
Good evening, Dark Lycan.
Recycling.
Recycling
Theo, hats out here.
Yeah, I've got to do that.
Evening, Troy. Evening, Frank.
Yep.
Mr. Enrique's in the building.
No, Enrique.
Evening, Gary. How you doing? David World Toys.
Hello, David.
Buddy? Evening, Buzz. Yeah, look, you can't stand EastEnders. EastEnders is garbage, mate.
It's bad. It's bad.
Evening, Matt Smith, part one. That's one of the Matt Smiths is in the building.
Matt Smith 1, the original Matt Smith.
Car Boot Collectors, what's up? How you doing? You just watched the first episode last week. You know what? Big C, we said it feels like ages ago, doesn't it? It's only like, what's it now?
Yeah.
11 weeks, I think
Like
it is, ain't it?
yeah, 10 or 11 weeks. Yeah, that since we did the first one, and yeah, it seems like a lot longer, doesn't it?
Evening, Dave. Vintage Toy Rush.
Evening, Lee.
You have to get Michael Mercy on.
Who's that?
I don't know who that is.
Tell us who that is, Lee.
Nice, yeah. We have actually said that we are a little bit. We're not entirely sure where we're gonna end up. But next week's stream is the last in this little run. So obviously we've been doing them every Monday for nearly 3 months, and we've decided we decided that at the very beginning. We said that. In fact, there you go. Look, Scott's just actually asked, what's the future of these live streams? So we're actually just talking about it now. We actually said, me and Big C said at the very beginning that we were only going to do a short run. We was never going to be doing every Monday for, 7 months.
Tom's finding out that working with me in a professional way is virtually impossible. So
exactly. Mate, I was absolutely gutted when I realised we didn't have a guest tonight, and I had to fucking deal with you for the next hour and a half.
That's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing.
Do you know what I mean?
Like it is what it is, isn't it? We could just take shots at each other over the next hour or so. So that sounds like a good evening to me.
Well, mate, it just sounds like a normal most days for me and you, because I ain't going to say too much on air, but some of the profanities you call me through WhatsApp and everything,
you deserve it.
Some of it can't really be.
Some of it you can't really speak. Yeah, we can't really say it on air, can we?
No,
people would instantly switch off.
Exactly. But to your answer, Scott, to your question, Scott, the future is that next week is the last one, and we are obviously going to have a little break from it. But we are undecided on whether we are going to do. We said about doing one a month, didn't we? Rather than doing one every week.
I think as well. I think as well. There's so many great streams out there as well at the moment that there is a lot out there. So I don't think on one on the Monday night it won't leave too much of a hole. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of live streams that have been springing up, and fair play to everyone, because I enjoy watching them all. Yeah, there is a lot, and more and more obviously have been popping up. I think because of what's going on in the world, and obviously we can't get to toy shows and everything, but. Incidentally, next week, the 12th, being our last show, and we've got numerous guests coming on. That's going to be a bonanza. That is a bonanza, isn't it? It's going to be. I'm really looking forward to it. But of course, as well, next week, the 12th, is when some stuff starts reopening. So we've got this big show lined up, all these brilliant guests returning, and all sorts going on, and potentially there could only be 5 people sitting in front of their phones watching us next week. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. It depends. It could be all out war on the streets. Everyone's going to want to get into Primark and everything, aren't they? Yeah, exactly. But then, to be fair, it is a Monday night, and I think on a Monday night, like I say, apart from EastEnders, I mean, there's not really a lot going on. Is there normally? Frank's saying it's the streams are the best thing. Oh, thanks, Frank. I do appreciate that. El Tender's in the building. Cheers. Rob said, excuse me, sorry. Rob has said, my bloody iPad's falling all over the place here. Is it? So he's a toy collector and reviewer, Michael Mercy. According to this, according to Rob, I'll have to look him up. I to be honest with you, I hadn't heard of him. Which, I'm not. I don't. You know what? I'm on YouTube. I've got a YouTube channel. I do lots of videos, but I don't really watch tons of YouTube. I've got the boys that I tend to watch. Yeah, that I get notified about all their new videos and stuff like that. It's my man Theo, Slimehouse TV. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I watch Theo's, yeah. Toy Polloy, Odd Pod when he, the people that have been on the channel. I've got 3 or 4 key channels that I watch a lot of, and I'll never really miss a video that comes out. And then I don't really dabble with too much outside of that. In terms of watching YouTube videos, I watch all the live streams from the community, the people that we know that do all the live streams weekly. I watch those. I do watch a lot of nonsense on YouTube that's just not toy related at all. I do watch a lot of old wrestling, like from the 90s and so the 80s and that. Because we have to live in the past, don't we? We don't like modern wrestling. So if you want to watch a bit of wrestling, you've got to watch it from the 80s or the 90s on YouTube, haven't you?
But it's very interesting, though, this situation with Jericho. We were saying the other day, because you thought it was an April Fool's thing, didn't you?
Well, Jericho, me and Jericho, we have banter on Facebook and that, don't we? So for anyone who doesn't know about that story, Chris Jericho sitting there making Chris Jericho laugh on a Thursday night. He loved it.
I know. He's going to be on. He is on it. He's going to be on Austin's
I personally
show.
think that Vince McMahon's he's got to a point now, surely in life, where Chris Jericho wrestled for him for over 20 years. If he decides that he wants to go and do something else with another company for the last couple of years of his career, should Vince McMahon really hold that against him and sort of blacklist him from doing something that involves WWE? I don't think they should. I think they look silly when they do that.
Well, it's interesting. Colin's got a question for us. Do you know Weird Al Yankovic?
Yeah, the guy who takes the mic, does all the stupid songs. He did Eat It, didn't he? I think a version of Michael Jackson's. He did the Nirvana song, didn't he? Smells Like Teen Spirit. He did a Mickey take of that. He's done loads.
Yeah, and the thing is, he done a take on Gangster's Paradise called Amish Paradise, I think.
Yeah.
Problem is, you know what happens when you've watched one of his videos or two of his videos, they do pop up on your feed. Now, Colin's obviously asking about this one. I'm presuming it's quite new. I haven't seen it myself, to be honest with you, but it will probably pop up. Yeah, it will probably pop up on my feed for sure.
Look at that, Colin. I'll have to have a look at that. Cheers, El Tender. Yeah.
As I always say as well, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button. Same on Facebook. Share it. Show the love. Obviously, everyone's getting involved. David World Toys has said about this Michael Mercy as well as 80's YouTube channel. So we'll have to have a.
Tom, do I look better like this, or?
Yeah, I think you look better like that, mate. Mate, you look like a mug either way, mate. To be honest with you, so
it doesn't really matter, does it? Having a big yellow dog head like as a hat, don't really do a lot, does it?
Frank has said, "Come on, lads, you Laura Legends, Theo Scott, Toy Poloy would be amazing." Yeah, it would be, but
except for
Laura Legends is
she's basically like, you got more chance of getting Brad Pitt or Kevin Costner on your live stream. To be fair.
Well, I did try, Big C, didn't I?
She didn't want to know. I reckon I should have asked. I reckon she would have said yes.
Mate, she wouldn't even have replied to you.
Nah, she would have been like, "Who's this guy? Who's this guy?" Wouldn't she?
So for all those that don't know, most of you that are watching this will probably know who Laura Legends is. I've followed Laura Legends since she had like 100 subscribers. So I did speak to her recently and asked her about coming on the channel, but she said that she's got 2 channels now. Not unfortunately, she's obviously doing quite well, but she said that 90% of her time's taken up with YouTube and social media. And when she does get a bit of free time, she kind of wants to stay away from it, which is fair enough.
Fair enough, isn't it? It's fair enough. I mean, like I say, like I said to Toy Poloy, us guys just trying our luck. We're like bacteria, like plankton to people like Laura Legends, aren't we? Really?
I just remembered it's just us two. Let's get more closer on your ugly mush. PJ Westy, how you doing? Double winner.
He is a double winner, isn't he?
Yeah, keep them going. I look forward to these now. It looks like forward to your fave show each week.
Cheers, PJ Westy. Yeah, but PJ Westy's only saying that because he's been loaded up. I mean, his collection's grown since these shows have been happening, and he's a very lucky man.
He's actually said to me that he wants to be exempt from the competitions now because I think he feels that he's won a couple of nice prizes and he'd like other people, which is very kind.
Very nice of him. Very nice.
Yeah. Where are we? Sorry, here we go. David World Toys wants to see the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. C. He wants to see your Action Man collection.
So I've actually got because it's just me and Tom tonight. We thought this would be a good opportunity. We never really get a chance to go through our bits and pieces, do we? So what do you want me to do it now, Tom?
Yeah, go on, mate. Yeah, go on.
So in terms of the Action Man, I've only actually got 4 the classic Action Mans that I want. I haven't bought any for the last month or so. But what ties in with those Action Man was they released the G.I. Joe Hall of Fame series, which was Hasbro releasing 12-inch figures back into the British market in the early 90s before they re-released Action Man. So these come out the year before. So do you remember I had the man that bends over? Well, I've got a lovely fresh one here. They have got all their accessories and stuff. They're in a box set, but I've got to put them all together with the figures. So he's from the Hall of he's Stalker. He's from the Hall of Fame series. And as you notice, this one, he's not grubby. He's not been brought up in a crack den. His midsection's okay. He doesn't bend over at will. So we've got that one there. We've got Tom. What's this guy? I can't believe I've forgotten. This is a famous G.I. Joe like baddie, isn't he?
Destro.
Destro, yeah. There
Destro,
we go.
yeah.
So I've got a 12-inch version of him. Once again, they come complete with all their accessories. He's in really good condition, this one. They come with dog tags. And he's got his dog tag there.
Dog tags and not dog hats.
Dog tags, yeah. And not dog hats, yeah. Good one. We've got Cobra Commander. 12-inch figure. And once again, these will go in my Action Man collection. Because these are actually part of the same family, and they actually were released as Action Men, even though they're G.I. Joe. Work that one out. So yeah, got him. And then lastly, now I've got one off Vic that you would have seen on Instagram that I put up with a little haul I got at the weekend. So this is Snake Eyes, and he's really nice. Now this one here I've got as part of that batch for those three. But I have got one off Vic that's in better condition that's in my cupboard, so I thought I'd only show one of them. So yeah, I actually got one off Vic from Fistful of Collectibles, my man Vic. What a beautiful man he is. Yeah, so yeah, got a Snake Eyes, and I'm going to put together the best parts of Vic's one and the best parts of this one, and hopefully end up with a really nice mint figure. So yeah.
Wicked
good
stuff. There
good,
it is.
Yeah. So David, in answer to your question, that's my additions to what you've seen already to my Action Man collection. Yeah.
Good stuff. Colin Sam, thank you for entertaining us on a Monday. Thank you, Colin, for
Cheers,
being
Colin.
such a great sponsorship to us.
Colin, he sponsored headwear to the prizes. I mean, like I say, it's a shame. We should have got your company logo or Colin Wicks PLC. We should have got that sponsorship on the bottom. Yeah.
Definitely. PJ Westy put was 10-6, and I thought, what does that mean? And then underneath it says auto-corrected. East Tenders sucks. Big up Theo, yeah, definitely.
Big up Theo. I love Theo. He's my man.
Thank you, Buzz. Well, like I said, we might go to, like I say, we're probably going to end up doing one a month. So
Dark Lycan, he's filling a hole, isn't he, on the Saturday night? He's got his own live stream going on that I've caught a few times and doing really well with that. It's been good.
Nick, how you doing, Nick? Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Amar's laughing. Oh, we're just catching up with some of the comments. This is probably to do with what we were talking about Jericho.
Is he really? Right, Vince McMahon's one of them people that it breaks my heart to see him as like nearly a 75-year-old man, nearly 80 years old, because he is becoming, and it's like with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's hard to watch a man that you remember in the prime, to watch them turn into a little old man is hard to watch, I think.
Evening, Aaron. How you doing, mate?
Aaron.
He does need to step down. Frank's asked if you can see the footage of Chris Jericho. Have you still got it on your phone?
I've still got it. Shall I? How do we do it?
You know what? One sec.
Because you struggle with the sound. It is really...
No. Yeah, because remember the first time we showed it?
Yeah.
I did have it on my laptop. I don't think I've got it anymore. You're on your phone now, though, aren't you?
Yeah. Can I do that?
I don't know. Are you able to... I don't know if you're able to share from phones are hard work. Let me have a little look, see if I've still got it.
Well, no,
because I did have it, but the problem is I keep on top of my laptop because my laptop gets very.
You got it on what? Yeah, but you've got it. I sent it to you on WhatsApp, didn't I?
Yeah, but mate, I'll delete your WhatsApps because you just talk shit.
You
talk lots of shit all the time.
I don't blame you, mate. I had to change your WhatsApp picture on my phone because I can't stand that goatee you've got going on anymore.
No, I haven't got it. So I think you emailed it to me, if I remember rightly. I think you emailed it to me. It's a shame because we could have showed it.
Did I email it to you?
I think. Well, I had it on my laptop. You may have WhatsApped it, and I might have emailed it to myself. But
right.
You ain't got an iPad or anything, have you?
No, but Emma could email it to you, couldn't she?
What now?
Yeah, should I get her to do it?
You could do, yeah.
If everyone was interested in watching it, let me get onto it. Right, I'm going to come out, Tom.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, no way. Go on. Let me just. I'm just trying to catch up with all the comments anyway. Evening. Where are we? Retro Shed. Evening, buddy. Alan, how you doing, mate? Big C, I can still hear you heavily breathing.
It's all right. I'm concentrating.
Yeah, look, Brad said he thinks you should be sporting one of the belts that you had on your shoulder that you got from me the other day.
I need to get that.
Evening, Scott. How you doing, buddy? PJ Westy, you guys have started me collecting toys, now digging through my mum and dad's loft, getting my Dino Risers and Jurassic Park stuff out. That's good stuff, mate. That's good stuff. Big C, you still there? You've gone quiet. Oh, you're still. Oh, hold on. Oh no, he's left. I'll have to pull him back in a minute. Full on Robot Chubby, how you doing? What's up, you lot? All good, all good. Just waiting for Mr. Big C to come back. He's disappeared. Here he is. Let's add him back to the stream.
Right, I've WhatsApped it to you.
You've WhatsApped it to me, yeah?
Can't you now email it yourself?
Or I can email it, or I can just play it straight off WhatsApp and show it the camera. It'd probably be a bit easier, wouldn't it?
Do you reckon?
Yeah, let's have a little look. Hold on. Let me make myself big. 2 secs. Solo layout. Let's just let's see if we can do this.
Something was fishy here.
All right, 1 sec. Let's turn it around as well, make it bigger. So this is Big C's conversation. Well, say conversation, Big C.
I just dropped a message. And Chris Jericho happened to like it, and he read it out.
Let's have a little look. Hold on, let's see if the guys can see it.
Something was fishy here. But that's, Chris wants to know, did you keep the brick of Coke?
Did you hear that, Big C?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the straight guy.
There you go,
Chris. They say.
Okay, that's a
there
good
you
question.
go. Look, there was your claim to fame. Chris Jericho read your question out,
and he liked it, and they all giggled over it, didn't they? They all laughed.
That's it.
So
That's
yeah,
it.
that was it.
Yeah.
That was all we. All
that was it. That was all it was. All
that was all it was. But he did
so
appreciate.
gassed,
You know what it's like on them live streams with someone like Chris Jericho. The guy's got like 3 million followers on Facebook or whatever it is. So of course you can imagine the live chat is like, you can't keep up with it. It's hundreds of people firing messages in, and just the way they were telling the story. And I asked that question, and like I say, read it out, and they loved it. Yeah.
Frank Sales saying about the action men or G.I. Joe action men.
Yeah, I've got the sword. I've got the sword that he's talking about there. Yeah.
Come on, guys. Brad's saying 41 watching. Yeah, it's 41 on YouTube.
It's only 7 likes. Yeah, but people, Brad, you got to understand, mate. You got to like something to hit that button. And it's me and Tom we're talking about here.
It's you. It's you, mate, not me.
It's true.
It's you. Yo,
I'm dragging him through the mud.
Lee Spartan, I've seen that Cobra Commander. I almost feel bad for slating the Action Man collection. Big.
Do you know what? The Cobra Commander, he's really, really good. Like, he's in really good condition as well. Like, and look, yeah, he's really nice, and obviously he comes with all these accessories and stuff like that. I've got, so yeah, it is really cool. Really cool.
Theo's back catalogue of videos is epic. Sure is. I haven't seen his latest one, to be fair.
I can't believe how many interviews and that he's done. Like, he's interviewed some real famous people and stuff. You should check out his older stuff because it's really good.
Definitely. Chris Jericho is smashing it in AEW in a circle. We're not too involved, are we, in AEW?
We don't watch it, do we? That's the problem. No. That's the problem, Scott.
I know Scott likes it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. And like, I think AEW is good because I've seen bits and pieces. And I think it's giving the older wrestling fan a little bit of what they want, which WWE hasn't been satisfying for a long time. But unfortunately, wrestling stopped for me in about the early 2000s, 2001. I think the invasion.
I think it was a bit. No, because you were still watching it when NWO returned, weren't you? When Hogan Nash 2003, that was.
No, it's
and
2002.
Goldberg.
That was 2002. Yeah, you're probably right. Probably went to as late as about 2002. But don't forget, probably the invasion storyline in late 2001. Once they bought WCW, that was probably the last sort of major storyline that I remember being a fan of wrestling and watching it week in, week out.
They did a bit with ECW as well, didn't they? A few years later.
Yeah, but I just think that got silly. So what they were doing was, like if you're going to do an ECW, if you're going to buy ECW and have a WWF production of ECW, don't make it look like a WWF production of ECW. Bring ECW back, like the way it was. And I think they were going to toy with the idea of doing WCW, carrying WCW on. Almost like instead of doing the Raw and SmackDown brand, they were going to do the WCW and WWF brand when they first bought it, but it never happened. And probably a good thing because it would have just been 2 WWF shows.
Yeah, they did. Vince did say that he planned to have 2 separate shows with WCW, but they couldn't carry on that station, could they? Or was it
No.
TNT, wasn't it? I think so.
Yeah, but it wasn't just about, you could have had them on the same station, but for me, leave the core people, bring your Eric Bischoffs in, and actually have that run like a separate company without Vince's interference and without that WWF sort of influence, and then see what happens. And ultimately, they could be owned by the same people, but not do the same thing. That's just what I think.
The NECA Gargoyle they look fantastic, mate. I can't wait. Have you seen it? You've seen them, Chris, the new?
Yeah, I do like NECA. When I was around yours the other day, just having a look at your NECA stuff, like, it's impressive when I see collections of it. But yeah, it hasn't really.
The problem is I've said it to people before, is you got to be careful, especially like we've said it about rabbit holes and everything with collecting, and where does it stop? Like, you're on, not only you collecting wrestling, you're also collecting 90s G.I. Joe. You're also collecting the new Mego stuff. That's what I mean.
Yeah, look,
very nice
we got
one.
It Mego, yeah. These are all courtesy. Tom got me these. Got a Willy Wonka there. Look, Gene Wilder. Yeah.
The NECA Gargoyles, I've only actually seen. Have they actually? I think it's just the one.
Leatherface.
Oh, Leatherface, yeah.
These are really nice, these Mego. They're just like miniature dolls, like the way they're clothed and everything like that. And obviously, then we've got Hannibal Lecter.
You've actually got a couple more coming, haven't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've built up quite a collection of them now, but you've got to try with these things to not get too out of control. That's one thing I try not to do. You know, I don't collect everything just because it's 80s. I don't collect everything because it was 90s, or I don't collect everything because it was retro. Just pick 2 or 3 and just invest in them.
How you doing, Andy? Bobby Heenan and He-Man crossover. Bobby He-Man.
I like that. And they did WWE He-Man crossovers, didn't they? So
they have, yeah.
You know,
Vic's in the building. Boris the Fett, Mr.
Hello,
Fistful.
Vic. Nice to see Vic. Watched him last night.
Hashtag Big C for life. Well,
cheers, David. Appreciate
that's
that.
A new one, yeah. Carlos has put Big C.
Cheers, Carlos.
Thumbs up. Oh, I've lost me. Adam, how you doing? That is life made, Big C. You can retire now. LOL, amazing.
Cheers. That is, isn't it? It's true.
1 dislike already, mate. It's part of the game with YouTube.
It is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. The way the dislike buttons, it's anonymous, isn't it? So, you know,
mate, do you
it's
remember,
a cowardly thing to do.
Do you remember? Do you remember that video I did? It was probably about maybe 16 months ago or something, about the boot sales, and I went in, didn't I, on resellers and all that.
He had like
I had
10,
about
10 likes.
Dislikes.
He had
mate.
10 likes.
No,
he had 10 likes and
no,
you had 10 likes and 47 dislikes.
Oh, mate. Listen, when you're on YouTube, mate, week in, week out, you just get used to it, mate. Like you said, there's people hiding behind keyboards and that, and you can't really. It is what it is. Yeah.
I just wonder if you left your name on that dislike, would you press that dislike button? And I reckon 99.9% of people on YouTube wouldn't do it.
And Brad's saying, how can you not like it if you tuned in? Basically, that's what people are like.
I just think it's a view. It's a view, isn't it? At the end of the day.
That's it.
At the end of the day.
AEW is the best wrestling on TV for me by a mile.
Agree.
Probably
I agree.
is.
Everyone says that, and that's going to be the case because it's not catered for 10-year-olds, is it? It's probably catered from your 15 and up.
Confusion on people's faces when listening to Fozzy. Yeah.
Good point. Aaron's mentioned that because that you know, they're a legitimate band. They're massive, especially in Canada, obviously where they're from. And you know, you forget that the lead singer is a pro wrestler, famous pro wrestler, and they're a really good rock band in their own right. So yeah. It's true.
Oh, he's a mega.
He's multi. He's a multi. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like, he's just gone from being a pro wrestler to, like I say, being a lead singer of a rock band, and not just like as a gimmick. Do you know what I mean? As a little side stupid project. Like Fozzy are a legitimate rock band. So fair play to him, and he's a power man, obviously. You know.
I don't know that, to be honest with you. I know the Smashing.
Yeah, he
Smashing
is.
Pumpkins
So
is it? Yeah.
He was involved with TNA, so he bought or was trying to buy a controlling share in TNA, and there was something going on with him and Dixie Carter in terms of running TNA. But yeah, he's a massive wrestling man, and he's tried to buy a wrestling company. So yeah, it's true, and he's a cool guy as well.
I do remember Troll
I remember
Warriors.
Troll Warriors. Yeah,
I'm seeing them quite a lot pop up at toy shows. They're not my cup of tea, to be honest with you.
Tom,
they're
you
like,
say that, mate. You'll have a whole collection of them, mate. There'll be a room. There'll be a whole room full of them. Give them a couple of years.
The thing is, Chris, with me, yeah, we've collected and everything, and I've said it to people before. I have to have some sort of attachment to it, like most people. Like you have to have an attachment, or you have to at least like it. And Trolls, I've got no attachment to Trolls whatsoever, and I don't particularly like them, if I'm honest with you. I mean, I remember them, obviously, the girls at school, and that used to have the rainbow coloured hair ones, and
I think
you had the pencil toppers, didn't you, and all that.
You get like we've said before. I think it's a dangerous game getting involved in anything because it was retro or released when you was a kid. If you didn't have them as a kid, and you got no attachment to them. You got to be very careful. You don't start going down the road of grabbing everything because it's retro. Because you will do. It's just the money and the space that it eats up. You know, that sort of thing. Scott will tell you about that. Scott knows all about that. Don't you, Scott?
Scott, mate. Scott is bad, mate.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But fair play to him, because he's very passionate, isn't he, about the whole retro business. But that's the dangerous thing for me is you're going to get pulled into all sorts of different directions, aren't you, with that sort of collecting habit.
David wants to know how you guys met. I think we've mentioned it before, haven't we? But
yeah, how do we, Tom, work? So yeah, basically I used to have to order some about, and
you didn't order nothing, mate. You were useless, mate, and I made it known. You remember?
Well, I told the story anyway. Yeah,
you told the story.
Tom was crying about not reading emails and stuff, and he was literally crying, and to the point where I was like, who's this little idiot?
So basically, Chris is a procurement guy for a company, and I was then a manager of a Perkins,
of a supplier,
yeah. And we didn't know. You didn't know about the toy thing till about 18 months later. Really,
probably about a year or so later, wasn't it? We got talking one day, didn't we? And I think it started on wrestling because you knew quite a lot about WCW, and you don't really. In everyday life, you don't really come across people, do you, that can sit there and have a conversation about like 90s WCW with you. So it just went from there, really, didn't it?
I wish I could turn back time.
And then we decided, look, we'll meet up, let's go for a beer and that, have a laugh as mates. And that Tom come dressed as a gremlin, and then I knew.
When was that?
I'm joking, Tom. About? I'm just joking. I'm just saying.
I had to think now. I was thinking, what's he talking about?
To myself, I've never shown him my Gremlins costume.
Oh, sorry, I just had Gary's comment up. I took it down by accident. Seamus, he loved it up to the Ruthless Aggression era. When was the Ruthless? About 2004?
Ruthless Aggression, early 2000s, from the sort of time we were talking about, maybe 2002 onwards. Between 2002 to maybe 2006, 2007, 2008, it went to.
Frank Sam, what's the big red and yellow thing on the top of your shelf?
What's that?
On
about this one here. Let's see if I can touch his head. Look.
Anything red and yellow on that shelf will probably be Hogan, wouldn't it? I would have thought.
No, that is Brutus the Barber Beefcake. When he was in the WrestleMania 9 or 10.
Oh, okay.
When he was with Hulk Hogan as his partner in the Vegas one. And he dressed up as I forget what they called themselves. But yeah, it's a wrestling figure. Who
was it with? Was it him and Hogan?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember what they were called.
So they were called. Is it that he's talking about? That one there?
I'm not sure. I'm sure.
That's no Frank. That's no Frank.
I'm sure.
We'll get him down.
Yeah, Nick, wrestling's awful now. It has been for years. I stopped watching about 2002. I am looking forward to the boot sales very much indeed. They're not the same anymore. And this is for anyone who's watching this that hasn't watched my video yesterday. I did put up a video yesterday of my latest pickups, and towards the last 5 minutes of the show, I did mention about the way I'm going to change the videos that I do with the boot sale, predominantly for the last probably 3 years, I'd say.
What's your main motivation for that?
There's a couple of reasons. I think the main reason for me is, I'll be honest with you, Chris, is that I feel that when I've got the GoPro attached to me and I'm at the boot sale, you kind of feel under pressure that you have to get content. And
because otherwise,
because you've got a video to put out. And the thing is, the boot sale videos are the most popular videos on the channel because you get, what happens is, although I've only got, you know, I'm just shy of 3,000 subscribers, my boot sale videos tend to get 4 or 5,000 views. So there's people watching the boot sale videos
People
that ain't
do love
subscribed
them,
to my
yeah.
channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but what it is that I always feel pressure to go out and go, oh yeah, let's get 45 minutes of content. But really, the truth of the matter is as well, is that I'm getting more and more feedback from people. And the feedback is that people don't really give a shit about you walking around at the boot sale. People just want to see what you found, whether it's good or bad.
It is quite hard to see what's going on as well. Like, it's not like,
because you're rushing around like a lunatic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You want to
It's
find
not
stuff,
like,
didn't you?
and where the footage is like on you, sort of thing. On like it, yeah, you're never going to get that experience of feeling like you've walked around a boot sale. It's like walking around a boot sale looking for a keyhole, isn't it? These car boot videos. Do you see what I'm saying? You're not getting. Yeah.
And the thing is, I know for a fact that I've missed things because I'm so wrapped up in what my GoPro's picking up.
Yeah.
I've missed things. And then what I think is when I do see something, I'm looking at my camera. Oh, is the battery still alive? Because obviously at boot sales, you could be there for 2-3 hours. You know what I mean?
I'm just glad that the one time that I think you filmed at a boot sale was when we met up. And
you found Tom and Jerry?
Yeah, we caught the deal, the Tom and Jerry deal. And the geezer, even when I said how much, the geezer said £5. I said, yeah, it's done. The geezer laughed. Yeah, the geezer selling them was laughing at me.
And then when you got in, when you got home, Emma threw them in the bin.
Yeah, she was like, no, they stink. They stink. She was like, I know we tell the story I feel like every few weeks this story comes out.
It's because it's funny. There's two reasons. One is Emma throwing it away is hilarious. But the second thing is, why the fuck did you buy them for?
Well, do you know what? In the few weeks leading up to that, the kids, Daisy especially, she loved watching Tom and Jerry. So when I saw these costumes, I thought they were great. Obviously, I should have said to the geezer, really, can I have a sniff of them first before I buy them? And then I probably would have sniffed them and thought, well, they said smell like they've been sitting in a musty old shed, but I didn't do that. So Emma threw them, yeah.
PJ Wesley obviously doesn't watch wrestling. He big C saying there's storylines. He doesn't understand it. All he sees is semi-naked guys touching each other.
Yeah, that's when, look, it used to be underpinned. Don't get me wrong, it was men rolling around in pants. Yeah, greased up men. Ultimately, from an outsider looking in, yeah, it does seem like very perverted stuff. But the storylines is what held it all together. When you take the storylines out, or you've got weak storylines, which today's wrestling is built on, yeah, then it is just men rolling around in pants for the sake of rolling around in pants to entertain 10-year-old kids. I don't get it.
Know. The thing is, though, we say that in the 80s and early 90s, it was very much all that. But in the Attitude Era, there wasn't really that much wrestling. It was more just pissing around, wasn't it, in the late 90s?
Like I say, I just loved it. And, you know, and another thing that I think we're missing on TV as well is the way that the PC culture will never let us have the wrestling that we used to love from the Attitude Era. Today, a lot of that just can't go down. You know, you can't be seen. Stone Cold Steve Austin can't throw a beer to a woman and she cracks it open to drink some and then stunners her. You know, that would be frowned upon these days, wouldn't it?
It was a good time. Scott, just letting everyone know that for anyone that don't know, Arrow, who do the Blu-rays, they do some fantastic horrors and they're having a big sale at the minute. You've made me want to have a little look. Dave wants to know what my crush is with NECA figures. There's no crush. I just think they're really cool figures and they're reasonably priced as well, to be honest with you.
Honestly, they are. Like when you see your collection, Tom, and I see all your Terminator ones and your RoboCop ones you've got, they look wicked. The Turtle ones you've got as well, they do look wicked. There's no doubt about it. In a big collection of them, they look fantastic.
Yeah, I have got a lot of them. I think I mentioned it in yesterday's video. I think I've got roughly about 60. I mean, I can just see in the horror cabinet now. There's probably a dozen just in the horror cabinet, and I've got more coming. You know, I've got a couple that I've already paid for with Craig. I've just bought the the film Annabelle, the horror film.
Yeah,
I've got that one that's going to go into the horror cabinet. In fact, that was one that the wife wanted, Nadine. But I think they're really good. I think that they display well and they're reasonably priced. They're not asking £80, £100 per figure. They're asking 25, 30 quid.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So I think
because I was obviously, as you know, I used to be mad and I used to buy Hot Toys. So obviously I've parted with them now. You know, they're far too expensive. I didn't like touching them. I didn't even like getting them out of the boxes and stuff. So it become pretty pointless having them. But I think I was so tied up in Hot Toys. You're a bit snobbish about NECA. Oh, look at those little miniature, like almost trying to be fake Hot Toy things. Like, ugh, get away from me. Do you know what I mean? You're rubbish. I collect Hot Toys. It's only when I look back now and I think, no, I think the scale of them and stuff and the way they're done, I do really like NECA. They've got their quality control problems, apparently.
Yeah, you know what? I've heard it
But-
so many times from people, but you know what, Chris? Like I said, I've got over 60 NECA figures, and I've never had an issue with any of them.
No.
I've never had a snapped head. I've never had a snapped hand. I think maybe I've just been lucky. I mean, I've had to do the hairdryer treatment. You know about the hairdryer thing where you warm up the joints and that.
Yeah, just to unstiffen them so they're not so brittle.
Yeah, but I've had to do it with some of the Godzilla NECA figures because the tails on the Godzilla, they got like a round ball on them, and they're really solid. So you have to warm it up and then just swish the tail in. But apart from that, I've never had any issues with them. I just think they're really good figures. I mean, they got Puppet Master ones coming out. They got Defenders.
And let's be fair, they do. The good thing about them as well is they literally have every license from any sort of major film franchise that you'd want figures for. They sort of cater for that, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, the other one that I've just got as well from Craig is from Roddy Piper, actually, from They Live, the film.
Yeah,
Nardo is his name, I think. I actually watched it the other day. Actually, really good film. It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
but that's another one. It's just an unusual film, so you're thinking like toys never come out for that film. Do you know what I mean? So it's good to have.
No, I definitely agree, and I think the way they've done the turtle ones and that you've got. Yeah, and
I've got the movies,
and that Ed 209. That's the NECA one, isn't it? You got They're brilliant pieces. Like they're really good, really good.
No, definitely. Hello, Lucy. How you doing? Is there, what item would you never sell? I don't know.
Something that's been open, Lucy, for me.
I think I don't really know, to be honest with you. As the $1 Million Man likes to say, Chris, I think everything's got a price, isn't it? To be honest
for you, because you're one of them people. You say you're a toy collector. No. Listen, I'll just speak the truth. He claims he's a toy collector, but ultimately he is a toy seller. And the toy seller in someone, the toy seller, if you sell toys and you're in the game of buying and selling toys, that toy seller, when the money's on the table, will always overrule the heart of the collector. That's what I believe. And that everything does have a price.
To be fair, though, because you've seen my collection, you was obviously up here on Friday. I barely sold anything from my collection in the last 3 years, to be fair.
I'm sitting back. I've been waiting for a couple of years now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What's this, the Hasbros?
There are 6 wrestlers that I would take out your collection that I'd want, that I'd be like a vulture if you where you were looking to sell them. Tell me who them 6 elites are.
Animal and Hulk, Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Billy Gunn and Jesse James, New Age Outlaws.
Yeah, yeah.
And another 2, did you say?
There's another 2 there, yeah.
Let me have a little think. Oh, Hogan, NWO.
Yeah, the one you've just got.
The one I've just got.
And what's the other one? And I will get that. I will get that one.
Yeah,
Who's the other one? There's one last one. There's one last one.
Can't really think. One that you ain't really got. Go on. Who is it?
Doink.
Oh, Doink. You mentioned Doink the other day. Yeah, I actually picked him up at a flea market, didn't I, in America?
In America. He was American release only, wasn't he? So apart from that, take your elite collection, which I think, you nearly 100 figures now, elites?
I'm probably at about 80, I reckon, maybe. Yeah.
Take those other 74, yeah? Shine them up. Turn them sideways. You know what to do with the rest of it.
And shove them straight up my candy arse, yeah?
Yeah.
How you doing, Rich? Dobbs family's in the
Big
building.
Up Dobbs fam. Big up Dobbs fam.
I am doing a competition. I'm going to do it a bit later.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to say Big C, what we were talking about before, and cancel it. I'm going to do something else. We're going to do something else. We were going to do the timed.
We're not doing that now.
We're not going to do it now. We won't do it. We'll do something else. Big C, what's your favourite film? Amar wants to know.
Terminator 1.
I'm a big Terminator fan.
The original Terminator, yeah.
Simon said if you don't care about
Stimehouse knows he's a veteran. He knows how to roll with it. That's what you got to be like. Can't be crying yourself to sleep at night over dislikes.
No, of course not. Who's your wrestling greatest of all time?
It's a difficult one. So I'll tell you what, Tom, this will lead on to Scott's question. Really difficult, Scott, for me to give you the greatest, like one person. I always like to think of, like everyone does, like the Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
Yeah,
So
there's a handful, maybe 3 or 4. Yeah.
And my Mount Rushmore of wrestling would be Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Shawn Michaels would be the 4. And Shawn Michaels, you could change for The Rock. You could change Shawn Michaels for Bret Hart. But I think fundamentally, the top 3 that I don't think many people would argue with is Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ric Flair, and Hulk Hogan. Yeah, it doesn't mean I don't necessarily like Hulk Hogan as my favourite.
But you love the Warrior, though, as well, didn't you?
I do love the Warrior, but you look, when I say Mount Rushmore wrestling, when you say who's the greatest ever, you can't just say the greatest ever is the person I happen to like, Ultimate Warrior. Because
quite frankly, he was shocking, really, wasn't he? As a wrestler,
charisma-wise, as a little kid to get behind, as an 8-year-old, he's the best thing ever. When you look at it as an adult, I am an Ultimate Warrior fan, but is he the greatest wrestler of all time or the greatest wrestler to ever hit the wrestling business? No. You have to respect the people that have done the most and that universally are recognised as, the very best. And Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan are the two top for me. And when you look at the numbers of wrestling during their primes, when you look at the pay-per-view sales from those two in their primes, when you look at the merchandise sales, like those two are in a league of their own. And they were the main men at WWF during the 2 huge points in their history,
I think a couple of, for me, I think definitely Hogan obviously is a big one for me. Like I was that 8-year-old, like you said, growing up. But I think as well, obviously, I think because of the amount of time and his loyalty, the Undertaker's obviously one that's got to be mentioned, definitely.
Yeah, another one. Like I say, you could go on. Like I say, you could build a top 10 quite easily, and I think I'd probably feel more comfortable actually having a top 10 because you could include the likes of Sting, The Undertaker, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Stone Cold, Ric Flair. You can get them all in if you do a top 10. And I think there's no doubt about it. They would be sort of the top people that we've just mentioned.
Mr. Perfect is one for me as well. I like.
Yeah, but I think Mr. Yeah. I mean, you could even start saying people like Andre the Giant and people like that. They are legendary people. But Andre the Giant never carried WWF on his own. He was never the face of the company. Just like The Undertaker. The Undertaker was never the face of WWF. He was a massive part and he was a big draw and a big name, but he was never the name above the door, was he? Like your Stone Colds, like your Rocks, like your Hulk Hogans. Do you know what I mean?
So Scott put, is that Billy, the guy you were talking about earlier from Smashing Pumpkins? And Adam said he owns NWA, apparently.
So there's, because the NWA obviously was the National Wrestling Alliance, which became WCW. When Ted Turner bought it back in the late 80s.
They're obviously a much smaller figure.
Yeah, so basically what I think he's done is the NWA, I believe, still exists as an organisation. And I think he's probably bought the rights to the NWA and is putting wrestling shows on as the NWA.
Alex has mentioned as well about he did buy TNA, but
they lost the TV deal. Yeah.
Oh, apparently you can find people through an IP address. I don't want to go that far. I didn't know that. Apparently Brentwood toy shows... closed because of debt. I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to have a little look into that. I really didn't know that.
Wow,
that's a big shame. That's one that I've stalled out many a time. Ian, how you doing, mate?
Hello, Ian.
All good. Yeah, Scott said it's a dangerous game. The World of Retro Collected. Yeah,
but Scott's the master of it. He's the master, isn't he?
Evening, James. Hope all is well. All is good. Thank you very much. Great hat. Random question, but what place has had the best car boot hidden gems for you both? Is you talking about
Guildford Tom and Jerry costumes?
I don't tell people what boot sales I'm at because I just end up getting flooded. To be honest with you, there's so many. To be honest with you, there's about half a dozen where I am, not on top of where I live, but within half hour's distance. Guildford's because of the Tom and Jerry costume. But everyone's laughing about the Gremlins costume now. Look, Tom dressed as a gremlin.
He was dressed as a gremlin. The first time we met up and went for a beer and stuff like that, Tom, he got excited and he turned up as a Stripe.
How you doing, Troy? Won a competition
Troy?
last week with Theo's t-shirt, a nice little blind box of toys. Oh, okay. Nice.
Well
done. Frank said top left shelf.
Oh, he's on about the giant Hulk Hogan then.
Oh, the talking Hogan, yeah?
You're on about the talking Hogan?
Yeah, he says it looks like an Iron Man buster.
Nah.
No, you ain't got anything like that. It's got to be wrestling. David said
wrestling,
Mega Maniacs. Is that what they were called?
Yes, he's right.
Yeah.
David's right. Yeah, Megamaniacs. Yeah.
Blast Collectibles, how you doing, buddy? You're right, Big C. Dangerous Game, just collecting anything and everything from a certain era. I fell into the trap and ended up with all sorts.
Yeah.
Now I focus. He has got a really good collection. I follow Blast Collectibles on Instagram.
I follow them as well. And I just think it's one of them. Do you want to have a really in-depth collection of a couple of particular things you're passionate about and that you loved, or do you want to have like a bit of everything? Because that's what that sort of game turns into. Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah, I mean, yours. Yeah, you could start a retro shop, couldn't you, with all your gear? Maybe.
And a bit. Why is a beard start a Star Wars look? I'm a bit confused with that.
Yeah, you do. That is a dodgy goatee you got there. That is very dodgy.
Mate, there's nothing.
David's picking up from it. What David's saying is, mate, that basically that goatee makes you look like you're from another planet. From what I'm getting from what David is saying there.
Oh, behave. Reopens on the 18th. I think a lot of them reopen on the 18th, to be honest with you. Gary said, yeah, watching a GoPro jigging around on a piece of grass isn't what
people do you think people are going to storm these boot sales? Do you think people are going to literally?
Probably. And listen, this is exactly what I said yesterday, Chris, in my video yesterday, is that I want to go and enjoy them. And the thing is, if I go there with just the mind of I might find something, I might not, who gives a shit? Let's just go and enjoy it. Like Scott said, I can meet up with Scott. We can have a little walk around, see what we find. Because there's several local to, because Scott's only sort of like 15 minutes from where I am. There's quite a few locals around here. Mate, they're probably going to get stormed. But at the same time, I think a lot of people are probably going to be selling, Chris, because people have been building up. We've had Christmas. And like a lot of people might not have got rid of stuff. People might have just plunked loads of gear in their garages. I'm not talking about toys or games or anything. I'm talking about clothes and shoes and, household items. Pants, yeah, skiddy pants and all that. So
can I ask you a question? Serious question.
No, I haven't.
Have you ever bought a pair of pants or a pair of underwear of any kind for a male or a female at the boot sale?
No, I fucking haven't.
You look like the sort of man who comes home from the boot sale with new lingerie for your wife.
What sort of man looks like that? How can I even look like that? How would you even know what a man looks like?
I don't know.
Jesus
I just get that vibe.
Oh God, Cole behind the Toys channel wants to know if you're going to do a video on your action, man. You literally just done a little clip earlier.
I'd like to say, I want to finish my collection of Action Man and the G.I. Joes and actually have a display.
He said he liked my last video yesterday. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Frank said the Tom and Jerry story never gets old.
Oh, yes, it's a brilliant story, that, isn't it? It's a brilliant story.
So Dave said Star Wars Rebel Alliance. Was it just me? I don't really know about Star Wars, so I wouldn't know. If I look like a Star Wars character, let me know and I'll look him up.
He does look like a Star Wars character.
Carlos has said no more bra and panty matches. Now, bearing in mind, Chris, we are only at 8:40 on what I'm reading, so we're about 40 minutes behind.
So yeah, Carlos, I'll take it that's in reference to what they're allowed and what they're not allowed to do in wrestling anymore.
This is to do with that Peacock thing, ain't it? They're going over to Peacock or something.
I just find the whole, like I say, just give us wrestling that appeals to. Yeah, I just think even if WWF tomorrow decided, right, let's go back to the old days, I just don't think they'd be handcuffed on a lot of stuff. Do you remember when the Dudley Boys? Do you remember the Dudley Boys put like Mae Young for a flaming table? Like they put like an 80-year-old woman. They literally powerbombed her from the top rope for a flaming table and stuff.
Do you remember when she took her top off?
That's what I'm saying.
When she come running into the ring and said, "I'm going to."
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And they just can't do that anymore.
Oh, here we go. Look, Nick said, "What's your thoughts on?"
Yeah, I heard about it. Obviously, the famous, which I thought was a brilliant scene. This was when I was really at my height, my love for it in the 90s, when the DX did the impression of the Nation, and X-Pac was dressed up as Mark Henry. And he had like
yeah.
And like they've started deleting those sorts of scenes out. Where we are in the world today, you can understand why. You can't let.
I remember that one. That was when Triple H was the Croc, wasn't he?
Yeah, the Croc. Yeah,
and
the Rock just came from the bathroom.
Yeah, and he goes, hey, Rock. Yeah, or something, didn't he? And,
And you had the
What's-
geezer come out with a big nose on, like, and he was
Owen
Owen
Hart,
Hart, and he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
a nugget.
Enough is enough. Yeah, I remember that. That's so funny. Have they removed that then from the network? Have they? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, with DX were brilliant. Like, do you remember when Rick Rude was the first man? He left WWF, that was a pre-recorded show, and he went
was
to
on
WCW.
Yeah. Same night. Yeah.
That was live. So he ended up being shown, one pre-recorded, one live before he left WWF. So he ended up being on the same channel. So the next week they thought, oh, we're not going to let you do us like that. So they had Harvey Whippleman come out as like a little puny Rick Rude, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H brought him out. And yeah, they absolutely just ripped Rick Rude, like using Harvey Whippleman. He actually did look like a little skinny puny version of him. Yeah,
it was good. Oh yeah, Dark Side of the Ring. Have you seen them? You've watched them, haven't you?
Yeah.
They are.
Look, my woman hates wrestling, looks at me like I'm mad every time I mention about wrestling or I bring a new figure home and stuff like that. But she, who knows nothing about wrestling, caught a few of the Dark Side of the Ring documentaries, and she absolutely loved them. And she was sitting there watching them with me. So yeah, the Owen Hart
they're actually quite tragic, aren't they? Really, as well.
Well, they're good. So we watched the Macho Man and Elizabeth one. We watched the Owen Hart one and the Chris Benoit one, and like I say, she absolutely loved it. Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed them, to be honest with you. NECA, they are very, very good. Alex, you're correct, mate.
Do you know what? It was interesting, Emma, seeing someone who knows nothing about the wrestling business and seeing that Eric Bischoff was involved, and his commentary. Like they interview, he's like one of the people talking on a lot of these documentaries. Eric Bischoff and Vince McMahon, and she says that Vince McMahon sounds like a complete arsehole, and Eric Bischoff seems like a really nice guy. So she actually, so it's interesting to see that someone from a complete outsider looks at that and says, right, Vince McMahon's bad, Eric Bischoff's good, which I thought was quite strange.
Yes, I have. I've watched it twice. Have I seen the new Godzilla vs. Kong movie, Cold Behind the Toy Channel? I have. I've watched it twice. And yes, everyone knows, Big C. I'm a big Kaiju fan, big Godzilla, big Kong fan. So it was always going to get the thumbs up in my eyes. I think they could have done a bit more with it. A little bit too much on the human element, the human story, which I always get frustrated with, because if you're going to have monster movies, just let the fucking monsters fight. Let them tear cities apart. That's what people want to see. People don't want to see, as much as I like the girl from Stranger Things, what's her name? Millie Brown. People don't want to, Millie Bobby Brown, sorry. People don't want to see her like running around screaming at Godzilla's this and blah. But yeah, it's a good film. Recommend people go see it. It's done really, really well as well abroad at the box offices, which could mean a fifth film. So that would really be fantastic. Andy, if you could have a custom figure of yourselves, which toy style would you want? Hasbro, WWF Playmates, McFarlane? I'd have NECA.
Mine would have to be. I'd have to be made by Hot Toys, to be fair. Imagine having a Hot Toys.
Listen, mate. You would be a bootleg in the pound shop, mate. That's what
I'm saying. Tom, he didn't say what we'd actually be if we were toys. Yeah, he said, what style would you want to be? So yeah, I probably would be a fucking pound shop. Do you know what I mean?
Special. You know what you'd be? You know them turtles. What are they called? The shitty turtles on a card. I can't think what they're called now. I had loads of them years ago. They used to be in pound. No, not Battletoads. Battletoads is a game. I can't remember what they're called. They're knockoff turtles. They look awful, and they've got all dodgy teeth. The teeth are up here, like all smiling and everything. Mate, you'd be like one of them pound shop jobbing.
Yeah.
Are you going to be hitting the boots the weekend of the 18th? That's the question, Big C, because I know I will be. Yeah. Obviously, weather permitting.
I'm going to start getting out there. Who knows what I'll find?
Ready, mate.
I'm the sort of man, I'll come back with costumes and that. I'll come back with all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. Tom
and Jerry costumes again. How you doing, Scott? Said he was really scared of Zeus, who recently passed away, didn't he?
Yeah. No, look, same as what Scott's saying. When you was a kid, some of the wrestlers were absolutely terrifying. Like when The Undertaker first come into it and that. As a little kid, you're watching him, you're looking at him and you think, like, is this guy really dead?
Playmates putting out some nice. I've got most of the Godzilla Kong figures. They're only $9.99, which is very affordable, and they're obviously. I think they're aimed more at children. If I'm honest with you, the detail, they're not NECA or McFarlane detail. Do you know what I mean? Alexander, bang on, Big C. There is a difference between toy seller, stroke dealer versus toy collector.
Exactly. exactly.
There is a lot, to be fair, and obviously, Chris, you've seen my collection, and obviously a lot of people who watch the channel have seen my collection. There are a lot of dealers out there that don't even collect. There are a lot of toy dealers who don't collect.
I don't really get that. Look, I get the people that sort of sell to fund what they collect, and they're sort of trading things and stuff like that. I get all that, but ultimately, I don't see the point in selling toys as a commodity purely just for money, because there's other things you could be doing to sell that there'd be a lot more money in it. Do you know what I mean?
Of course there is. Yeah, there's not that. I think a lot of people that come into it brand new are kind of under the illusion that toys will make you millions, and they don't. And the thing is,
the trouble is to make big money though on certain toys, you've got to buy them for big money.
Yeah, like Hot Toys, for example. Do you know what I mean? And even then, you ain't going to make massive amount of money.
To be fair though, Tom, to be fair, if you bought a Hot Toys for say 200 quid at its retail price when it first comes out from the people you buy it off, if you sit on that, they double in price within 2 or 3 years. They double in price, and they only go up from that as well.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Hot Toys. I said that as an example because of how expensive they are. But yeah, you're right. That over time, they definitely go up in value. How you doing, Matt? Matt's had. That's the other Matt, by the way.
Matt too. Matt the sequel.
Yeah.
He's
Matt,
the sequel.
Also known as the repeat collector.
The repeat collector. Yeah.
I was talking to him yesterday. He's had a bit of a nightmare. He had a delivery turn up from Kapow Toys, and there was two figures missing, and there was he opened a Mortal Kombat double pack, and Scorpion's head snapped off. I just was like, geez, you've had a real mare there, to be honest with you, with that lot. Bradley Skating, love Doink's character so madly outrageous, and apparently,
yeah, he's true, Brad. That's true, mate. It's like, what a good idea for a wrestler having a menacing clown. Like, brilliant. And that was that. One second, I want to just answer Brad's question.
Go on. Did you see that?
We need to touch on that after. I want to touch on that after. Just in response to Brad. What was his name? Doink the Clown.
Oh, Matt Bourne, wasn't it? Was it Matt Bourne?
Yeah, Matt Bourne, and obviously, a bit of a nasty piece of work, apparently.
Yeah, he was the better one. A lot of people say he was underrated because he
was good. Don't get me wrong, but
Doink was played by 3 people, wasn't he? I think.
Yeah, and he's the original one, so he's the one that is known, like the who played him in the early days of it. Yeah, go back to Mando's Mucky Mo. I want to discuss that first before we do anything else. He's a wild man, isn't he, Mando's? You just can't. You can't trust him on their messages. He will come out with some crazy stuff. But I like it.
I have seen before this.
It's an adult theme show.
Adult theme show. Yeah.
In an adult theme show, Mandos, we must ask, who were you shagging, or what were you shagging?
What?
Who or what? Yeah.
Someone in a Tom and Jerry costume.
Yeah. I reckon it's all that talk of Tom and Jerry costumes really got him going.
Oh, have you seen the David Arquette documentary? I actually want to watch it, but it's
Yeah, well, he went into WCW, didn't he, in the 90s? He was the champion, wasn't he? Really he was the champion, Scott, I believe. He was the champion when he come into it for a little while.
I actually watched a documentary today, funny enough, this afternoon. It's on Amazon Prime and it's free, about the $1 Million Man.
Okay, because he's a preacher now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Shawn Michaels was in it, funny enough, because he's gone Christian. Yeah. It was called... The Price of Fame, I think it's called. It's a good documentary. It's mainly about him and his son, I think.
Do you know what I really like? So I've got a mate of mine as well that's been down the similar path recently as well. That like people like Shawn Michaels and stuff like that, like who outside of his close group friends in the industry haven't really got a good word to say about Shawn Michaels back in the day. And you can imagine he was a bit of an arsehole, can't you? You can just imagine what he would have been like and that. But to find God and to completely change your life and to become a decent human being, that can only be a good thing. So perhaps you could maybe go to God, Tom, and there might be a good person in there to save. There might be someone to save there.
Listen, if anyone needs to go to God, mate, it's definitely not me. For the two of us on screen now, mate, you're one vile creature.
Personally, I don't think God wants anything to do with
even
me.
take.
Yeah, I don't think he'll want anything
I was about
to do
say,
with me.
yeah. God, Colin's saying that he's started collecting crash dummies now. Bloody
hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. He mentioned that to me, Colin.
Bloody hell. PJ Westy, what toy line do you absolutely hate whenever you see that line of toys you turn away in disgust? To be honest with you, hate's a strong word. as a toy collector, I don't think there's anything I hate.
Yeah. Do you know what? I hate? Some, and I used to collect
Be
them.
very careful with your words here, because
No,
we've got
yeah.
like
Let me.
we got like
No.
65 people
Let
watching.
me tell you what I hate. So Jacks.
Oh,
A lot of the,
yeah.
not even the classic ones from they did like the bone crunching action ones. Now I think they're quite cool and that them retro ones from the 90s. I don't like the bog standard ruthless aggression Jacks that they did, the ruthless aggression series with the modern wrestlers from the 2000s in. Not the classic superstars line. Some of them were quite good, and I used to collect some of them. But yeah, the ruthless aggression line was always a line I looked at, and it was just like, you know, like Mr. Kennedy and like wrestlers like that, and I just used to look at them and just think these are garbage, these figures.
I know, obviously, I've got a bit of a reputation for hating Funkos,
Yeah.
but I've actually, obviously, I've got a couple of Gremlins Funkos in my collection, being a Gremlins collector. It's not that I hate Funkos. You know what is that frustrates me with Funkos is that they're just everywhere. So they're everywhere. Wherever you go, you go to a vintage toy show, you go to modern toy shows, you go to Comic Cons. They're just flooded everywhere. I know, obviously, a few years ago, like 6 years ago, they weren't as well known. I remember when I first bought the He-Man ones, and I paid £10 for He-Man, £10 for Skeletor, £8 for Hordak, and people were buying them, but they wasn't like they were now. And a couple of years later, I ended up selling them for like 200 quid for the free out of their boxes as well. It's just absolute craziness. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Look, I'll tell you, there are some that are quite cool. Like I've seen the Killer Clowns from Outer Space ones recently. I mean, you know, clowns with fucking sharp teeth, like horror clowns. You can't really go wrong with them. And they're doing the V. They've done the V. You know, V.
You like V, didn't you? The alien ones that eat the mice.
Yeah.
Those cruel, horrible people, aren't they?
So yeah, I'm not. There's nothing I really hate. I kind of dislike Funkos, but I will get the V1. I'd get the V1.
Yeah, but you hate them so much that you've actually got them in your collection, didn't you?
Yeah, I had He-Man Skeletor, the original He-Man Skeletor. They've run about 3 or 4 versions of that. He-Man Skeletor, Hordak, and Spycore were the first 4 Master of the Universe Funko Pops. And She-Ra. I didn't have She-Ra because I'm not interested in She-Ra. And I did have RoboCop. I had Optimus Prime. I had Bumblebee. I had Lion-O. I had Tigra.
Is everyone noting how many Funkos this man
had? Yeah,
and he hates them.
I had Venom. I had Venom. I had Carnage. I had Spider-Man. And then I just thought, you know what? It was probably about 3 years ago. No, it was a long time ago. It was before I moved here. I was just like, I don't really like these. I think a lot of it's to do with as well, though, Chris, is that so many people have them. So many people, and people are buying them as they think they're an investment. This Funko is going to be worth £500.
Yeah, I don't think your collection needs much Funko because, like I say, it is an impressive collection that you've built there. It is. There's some really good parts of it there, isn't you?
Yeah, I'm not massively interested in Funko Pops, if I'm honest with you. But I don't hate them. I think hate's a strong word. They just don't do anything for me, to be honest with you. They just don't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Stephen, how you doing, Stephen?
How you doing, Stephen?
He's hoping that we consider them doing them once a month. Hopefully.
Like I say,
we'll see how it goes.
You got to understand, it's very, very difficult to work with me on a week in, week out basis, Tom, isn't it?
And the thing is, as well, is I have to put up with you with the week leading up to, because you're bringing me going. So what's going on? Who we got? What are you giving away? What quiz are we doing? Oh, what is the quiz going to be against me? Because you always try and ruin me. It's like fucking dealing with a child on the phone, to be honest with you.
Tom needs a break.
Loved watching my little brother perfect plex in his mates at school. I was always shouting not to do it on the concrete.
that was me and my brothers. Like I say, our back garden, you know, it got to the point where we're jumping off shed roofs and things like that, you know, using mattresses that Tom dumped in our back garden, stacking them up and just, you know.
Tom, a.k.a.
the mattress dumper.
Mattress hunter, yeah. Oh, my wife's watching. Hello. She's only in the room behind, so
she's
there. How you doing? Love you, baby. I am the Dave. This is a strange question. 2 stupid non-toy related questions for you both. What are your thoughts on Towie?
Yeah,
I think it's garbage. I
So
think it's
listen,
absolute
I've got a
garbage.
confession to make. So I'm born and bred, and my family's all born and bred Chelmsford in Essex. So that's where I'm from originally. And then as a youngster, about 7 or 8, I moved to Surrey. So I grew up in Surrey, really. But yeah, so I've got Essex blood in me, and I'm not going to lie to you. Having a woman that watches the stuff, I get very, very engrossed in things like Towie. I've got to hold my hands up to that.
I don't think anything of cast. I think good luck to them. They're making a living out of it. Do you know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong.
I think a lot
Listen,
of it's fake. A lot of it's put on. Though,
it's
ain't it?
total. Let's not beat around the bush. It's total garbage. But sometimes, Tom, you get the odd flavour of shit that you like the taste of. Yeah,
That's a very unique way of putting it. I don't know if I would word it like that.
It's like having a woman that's got it on constantly and watches these programs, and it's like it is eating shit and learning to like the taste of it. That is basically what it is. But yeah, I like it. Yeah. I am the Dave.
Lucy bought a bikini from a car boot before.
Look,
I hope it was brand new.
Maybe I hope so. Yeah. I hope so.
Richards, you look like the sort of man who you Big C cracks him up.
Yeah, he does look like the sort of man who buys underwear from the car boot, doesn't he? Socks.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do, Rob. Like Rob's saying, just do things at your own pace. Do a video showcasing your finds after winner chicken dinner. Definitely.
Yep, I agree with that.
They don't live in Essex nowadays. Most of them went broke. Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dark Side of the Rings Epic Series 3 is coming.
Yeah, I heard that. Dave Blade.
Dave.
Hello, Dave.
How you doing, Dave? Just want to say thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank all of you for obviously getting involved in the weeks.
Exactly. And like I say, we've been having fun. We wanted to do something a little bit different and stuff like that because, we know there's a lot of streams out there and stuff like that doing lots of good things. So we just wanted to be, just a little bit more I don't know, over the top. A little bit more like a radio show.
Turtle Power. No, they weren't. They were called Turtle Fighters. That's what they were called.
Turtle Fighters, yeah. So you reckon I would be a turtle
Tommy
fighter?
Toothpaste. How you doing, Tommy Toothpaste? Yeah, Turtle Fighters. Tommy. That's what they're called. Yeah, they used to have like big teeth that were all up here.
Yeah, mate, and that's what you're saying. I was like, that's what you're saying. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, mate. You're not even worth £1, mate. If I'm honest with you, if you were a toy, mate,
I've bought and sell you, mate, you're worth about 20 pence, mate.
Mate, you'd be in them boot sale boxes. You know the ones with the broken arms and all that. You know the 5p box.
It's funny, yeah. So as we're taking shots at each other, I watched your video the other night, which has done some decent views, Tom, innit? Considering it was just obviously yourself talking about bits you picked up. And I was thinking, watching that video, I thought to myself, the best thing about him, mate's the t-shirt he's wearing. Yeah, I thought Theo's other than t-shirt. That, Theo's t-shirt. I thought that's the best thing he's got going for. That's the only thing he's got going for him at the minute.
I was gonna make a comment when I first came on air, but I was a little bit, I had to run to the toilet to have a piss and that.
Yeah.
And I came running back, and it was like shit. Like we're down to like I've got to go live in like 50 seconds, and I was going to actually mention the fact that the people watching have got to feel sorry for me just having you on tonight.
Mate, listen, what you should have done. See, this is why I'm more of a man than you, because I would have, with 10 seconds to go, I would have had a turbo poo. Yeah.
He's going to meet you at the local boot.
To be fair, me and Aaron, that is basically it's quite a local for Aaron as well. I think it's a similar sort of distance between us both. So I'd love to have a rummage with Aaron. Aaron's a proper car boot hunter. He will definitely find stuff, won't he?
Scott asked that earlier, didn't he? Maybe we'd missed it and he hadn't seen it. Yeah. I haven't seen it yet. No, I do want to watch it.
Yeah, obviously I'm aware of the David Arquette winning the WCW heavyweight title, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a strange
when they were going crazy. Yeah.
Going to watch Godzilla versus Kong tomorrow. Do any of your partners collect anything? Yours, Emma, doesn't.
Here's the thing. Emma thinks the toy collection is, she looks at me like I've grown another head. She doesn't get it, but she is Transformers film series, the Michael Bay films, and Jurassic Park. Huge fan of those two franchises. To the point where if I go out to football or I'm out and I come back in if I leave her alone for any less than 2 hours and I come back in, she'll be watching a Transformer film or a Jurassic Park film. She literally loves it, but doesn't like toy collecting.
Good taste. The first couple of Transformers are okay. They got a little.
She loves them. She loves them.
It's because they done so well, didn't they? In like China and that, I think they just kept making them, didn't they? So, sorry. While we're on the question, sorry, I completely forgot. Yeah, my missus does collect stuff, clothes, shoes, and hats. But no, she's got like a little Mickey Mouse and Snoopy collection. just a small collection. She doesn't really add to it too often, and but she is big on the horror. So the horror cabinet that we've got in the living room, I've mentioned before, the Annabelle figure actually, because I wasn't interested. In fact, I'll be honest with you, I haven't actually seen the Annabelle films.
Who makes that?
NECA, that's a NECA figure.
Okay.
So she wanted it. She was like, "Oh, I think she see it on Nerdbase's site. I think she see it on Craig's site, but he was sold out at the time." And I said, "I'll get it."
Nadine's also got a lovely collection of lingerie from the car boot that Tom's been picking up.
She'll pop her head in a minute.
She won't be happy about that. Yeah. I'm not saying you wear them, Nadine. I'm not accusing you of doing that. I'm just accusing Tom of shopping for underwear there. Yeah.
Ted DiBiase admits. Yeah, he did. He did admit that in the.
You got to though, haven't you? If you're doing that in the early '90s, Ted DiBiase, if you bumped into him, he has to be the $1 million man, doesn't he? Can't just be Ted, can he?
No, they used to stay. They used to be in like kayfabe and all that back in the day, didn't they? As well. So
of course.
You know what? I actually think I think I actually have got a fake NECA. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I think my Terminator, the one from Terminator 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He comes with like the big machine gun and everything. I think that my one may be a fake one.
Where did you get it from?
Very different.
Where'd you get it from?
I actually got it off eBay, but I paid like the normal price at the time. This was a few years ago. I mean, he's been re-released now, and you see him like a lot of the normal toy people online, like Nerdbase, Kapow Toys, and all that. I've had him recently. The other thing is that my father-in-law bought me a NECA figure. I think it was 3 Christmases ago, and it was like the box was all faded at the bottom. He got it off Amazon. I think it was Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th. The box was all faded at the bottom, and I was comparing it to my other NECA boxes, and I was thinking, something's not right here. But again, I think he paid like the normal price for a NECA, like $32.99.
It's madness though, isn't it? That even like, things like that.
It's hard to tell, Chris. It's hard to tell because the bootlegs, especially like the NECA ones, I hear they're all done in the same factory and that. It's hard to...
So what do? The person who's making them just makes themselves a few extras, basically?
I'm guessing so. I mean, fake NECAs are not that much more cheaper. Put it this way, because NECAs are not expensive anyway. It's not like you're paying £100.
No, that's what I'm saying. You'd understand custom counterfeit hot toys, something that's worth £200 that you can sell for £100. You get that, don't you? But something that sells for £30 brand new. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Nick a tenner and sell them for £20? Like
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think really the fake ones, if they're known to be fake, they shouldn't really be charging more than £20 for them. When you can get a legit one for £10 more. I mean, NECAs range from 25 to 32, 34, depending how big it is. Is it a deluxe one? Is it one ultimate one and all that?
If you had a fake NECA, right? He's sort of, you've got a fake NECA now, and you ring me up and you go, Chris, I've got a nice NECA for you here, mate. £50.
What to you?
Yeah, £50 here, knowing he's selling a fake one.
Oh, Rich, he's still trying to sell that 90s jungle action man with blowpipe. Gonna have to chuck him in a job lot with the Warriors of Virtual stuff and some other tat. That's the one you're after, is it?
Talking about. No, I know the one you're talking about, but I believe that one you're on about is a late 90s one, which doesn't really fit the time frame. Yeah. So I'm only after really from like the ones from 93 to 95. I think that one's probably a 98, 99, probably something like that.
Your wrestling name would be Big C, wouldn't it?
Yeah, or the Love Hammer. Is another one. I'll go by the name of Love Hammer, yeah. Or Big Daddy C would be another one.
Love Hammer. I don't even know. Yeah. I can't even think of any names for me, to be honest. You're the sort of person that thinks about this.
Emma said to me, very concerned the other week, she went to me, why are you calling yourself the Love Hammer? And I was just like, that's what they're calling me. And she went, who?
Yeah,
you said to me.
You said to me, yeah, that's my new nickname. I was like, okay, where's that come from then?
I'm the only man who creates his own nicknames. and just all you got to do is, if you want to be known by something, or you come up with your own little nickname in your head that you want to be known by, just tell all the people around you, people are calling me X nickname. The people are calling me it. Have you heard? People are now calling me the Love Hammer. And then when people go, who's calling you that? Just say the people. People are.
The people. Big C is a
Live stream
He's
legend.
not, mate.
Cheers, Dave. Cheers, Dave.
He's not.
Tom won't agree with that. It's chaos working with me.
The gaming toy boy, how you doing? He's
How
in
you
the
doing?
building. Simon, how you doing, Simon? I'm using that line when my wife watches it now. I'm not too sure. Like I said, we're a bit behind.
Tell us, Simon. What line?
Six.
Tell us what line, Simon.
Theo's t-shirt's making the rounds, and Theo's watching as well. How you doing? Theo's in the building.
Theo's here. I've still got
Shameless
all Theo. I've got to put. I'm going to do that in the next couple of days. Theo, please tell me. He said he's going to do 100 and stop. I still believe it or not. What sort of like supporter am I? I still ain't bought my t-shirt yet, Theo. My new t-shirt.
Poor mate.
So
poor.
I'm going to collect them. So
poor mate. Poor. Awesome. Another live stream.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Barry.
Got two comments from the same person. One on Facebook. One on YouTube coming up. I don't know if he's
having
having a dig at me. Yeah. Mr. Big C makes a show for all of us.
Cheers, David.
David said, but he's also said Big C's the star for Mondays.
Yeah, there you go. Look,
it's the
David,
same person.
It's the same person, but look, he's just giving support. He knows who he rates the main man, Tom, and I just think, cheers, Dave, for that, mate.
I'm feeling a bit left out here,
Cheers, mate.
At the end of the day,
this is Tom's channel. They love the Love Hammer. No wonder they're calling me the Love Hammer now, aren't they? Cheers, Dark Lycan, though, mate. Appreciate that.
Studio series are quality on the Transformers. Well, Lee Spartan. I've decided to collect purely retro due to the sheer amount of modern releases. There is a hell of a lot.
It's true.
It's not viable. No, it's not viable to collect them all unless you're earning really silly money. Do you know what I mean?
Agreed, Tom. That's why you're better off. If you're going to go retro, go for an obscure line as well, because then you can I'm going for those the G.I. Joe line and the Action Man lines from the 90s. There's not a lot of competition out there at the minute for them. So you can sort of build up a retro collection there, and then I do my elites, which are modern.
There's your answer to Simon's thingy earlier.
Oh yeah.
What he
I
mentioned,
get what he's saying now. Yeah, he's on about the eating the poo and liking the taste of it, isn't he?
Some say gaming toy boys. Some say the fake neckers are better than the authentic ones, possibly. But I don't think there's massive amount in.
Them ones you've got, Tom, the cartoon ones, I think are brilliant. The way they've got the dark outline on the figure, on the paint jobs and stuff to make him look drawn. I think that's really good.
Frank's just won a 90s Action Man for £1 on eBay.
Frank, what one did you win, mate? I don't like this. Frank's actually going out and probably stealing. He's like stealing food off my plate.
You know what? We're obviously we're going to wrap up soon in a little while. I've just forgot about the competition. I'm giving this away, guys. So for everyone that says Mr. Big C's the man, the Love Hammer, the greatest.
He's the one giving his stuff away.
I'm the one who's giving the stuff away. And here today, I've got a fantastic Transformers Optimus Prime brand new reaction, lovely figure, unpunched as well.
Lovely.
This is
Look at that.
Come straight from the.
You can't deny that, can you? Look at it.
Nice and simple. It's gonna be what do you call it? Quickest on the buzzer, you call it, didn't you?
Fastest finger on the buzzer, Tom.
Fastest finger on the buzzer. That's it.
I stole that from catchphrase.
Tom and the Love Hammer. Look, that's it. Just Tom. No nickname, just Tom. Just Tom.
No, it's Bizarro's pieces, isn't he? It's PP and the Love Hammer. I like that.
It's PP, yeah. All this t-shirt talk. Who's getting a new one? That's what he wants
I'm
to know.
I'm getting the new one, Phil. I just want to make sure that we've still got the numbers left because I haven't jumped on it yet. So in the next day or so, I'm gonna be ordering a t-shirt.
He's
nice there. Look, he ain't leaving you out. These people know I'm just on your platform, Tom. Without your platform, this doesn't happen, does it?
Listen. None of these lot would know you even existed. You would just be nothing at home with your little 90s action men.
It's true.
Anyway, moving on. Gary says, if you could start a new figure line, what would it be? I'm presuming he's saying a line that doesn't exist, maybe?
Yeah.
If you could start a new
line, what would it be?
I'd probably say maybe V. I'd like to see.
Do you know what I'd love to see? And they could do the classic line. It wouldn't even have to be modern characters. I'd like to see an EastEnders toy line.
Fill with a can of beer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just think of the accessories. Just think of the accessories that they could come with. Pat Butcher. Do you know what I mean? Pat Butcher with the apron and that she used to wear. Yeah, you could have a Frank Butcher one, couldn't you? You know what I mean? You could have Ricky Butcher with a spanner with a like
with a spanner.
You know
what
I mean? Yeah.
Grant Mitchell with his leather jacket.
The Arch's playset.
As a playset.
Yeah. Imagine having the Vic playset.
Oh, okay now.
There you go. See, that's the sort of toy line I'd have. Yeah.
He bought. There you go. Rich said he bought a few of them.
Yeah.
A few years ago. We're going to do
like I say, Rich, if ever you want me to take them off your hands, that is something I am interested in. But unfortunately, the blowpipe action man you can keep.
There you go. Look, EastEnders toy line. Frank says he wants to win the.
He wants to win that. Well. He wants to win that. So what is the question? What is the question?
I'm going to do it in a minute. Let me just. We're nearly through to comments because we're going to wrap it up, aren't we? So, going to miss these Monday night streams. Better than crap on TV. Thank you very much.
Really thanks, mate.
The goatee gangster.
Yeah, the goatee gangster.
But this is going soon. This is going soon. I said that this. I was maybe only going to keep this for the streams, and then I'm going to go back to naked face again. Tom and the Hammer.
Yeah,
great stream. Thank you very much,
Cheers,
Colin. As always, appreciate the support.
Cheers,
Tornado
Colin.
Tom and the Love Hammer. That's the tag.
See, they're giving you names. They're giving you names.
That's it, mate.
You got to take one of these. You got to take one of these.
Sonia with
trumpet. Yeah, you got to, mate. You can have the EastEnders classic character line. That's what they can call it.
Electronic Peggy. When you push a button, she said, "Get out!" Of my house.
Exactly.
Pizarro's Peace and the Love Hammer, managed by Val Venus.
Well, going back to the EastEnders toilet, you have David Wicks with cloth coat. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
love it.
All them murders that happen in EastEnders. Didn't someone get killed with a brick before and all that? You just have them with the accessories, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
There you go. Look, EastEnders tour line with stabbing and shagging family members action.
Exactly. Yeah, with action. Yeah, I like that.
Big C is the Jerry Lawler and Tom is JR.
Yeah. I'm just the side piece.
Pete, always a great stream.
Cheers, Pete. I noticed Pete's changed his name.
Yeah, Pete, Theme Parks and Toys.
That's a good thing to
put
together.
It's the same picture, yeah. I'm caught up. I've caught up with all the comments. I don't think I've missed any comments.
Look, before we go, obviously, Tom, we thought we'd do the show this week, just me and yourself, just to get us out. It'd be a good chance for us to interact with the people. Do you know what I mean? Rather than having to do it around a guest. So that's been good. But Tom, tell them about next week.
Are we saying, or are we just hinting?
No, hint. Just tell them the general outline. You haven't got to go into names and places. And
so me and you are basically, listen, you got to be there next week because me and you, we're going head to head, mate.
We're going
head to head.
We want to find out who the true king of retro toy knowledge.
No, not just retro toy. It's just retro knowledge.
Retro. What's the word I'm looking for, Tom? Pop culture.
Pop culture. Yeah.
Who is the pop culture knowledge king? We're going to be going. Look, the possibilities are endless, aren't they? With what you could do.
Mark Fowler on his deathbed, poor sod.
Someone should that Nema Studios actually got a toy production company now. He can effectively make this stuff. So I think everyone should just start bombarding them. We want an EastEnders toy line.
Listen, Slimaster has said it. Next week is the Royal Rumble with Pizarro's on live.
It is. We are going head to head.
This is what's going down. Me and Big C, we are going head to head now. You lot all know I have not done any quiz with regards to myself. Big C has always gone against the guest, and you actually lost apart from once. You got the same with Terminator with Rob, didn't you, from Tats and Toys? So next week we have 4 rounds.
Four special quiz masters for each round.
4 quiz masters. We got 4 special guests coming on. In regards to, so we're going to have a round 1, a round 2, a round 3, and a round 4. One is on retro gaming. One is on movies, 80s and 90s movies. One is on
80s and 90s toys.
80s and 90s toys, and I think one is just the general 80s
wrestling.
and 90s. Yeah. Oh, wrestling. That's it. Sorry, wrestling. So it's like 4 themes, 4 different themes. Me and Big C are going to go head to head. But we've actually got more than that. So we've got 4 special guests coming in to be the quiz masters for these 4 rounds, but then we've also got 4 more guests coming
in a panel.
8 guests.
So we're going to have a panel with the 4 special guests in the second part of the show. which will just be a general sort of toy conversation and a bit of a little party to celebrate our last show. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
So Richard
I'm really
said we
looking forward to it.
need to drop some promos in the build up. We don't want to say too much, but we have effectively got 8 people coming on to our show next week.
It's gonna be emotional as well, because obviously, I've got to know, a lot of people have interacted
Listen,
with me
mate,
and stuff.
I don't want you fucking crying live on air, you mug.
Oh, wait,
Listen, let's give this.
I'll be all right.
Let's give this away. You're going to do this, yeah?
Coming in.
Frank said 8 guest party. So I've got a nice, easy question for you guys. So simple. First person. Now remember,
I did a timed envelope, but he doesn't know what he's doing, so we can just rip that off.
Rubbish. I decided to do a question. I think questions are a little bit more fun, so I'm going to give this away to someone. Quickest on the thing. Now remember, it's the person that I see come up on my thing, because I've got live time from Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube and you comment, but someone commented before you on Facebook, it's going to come up on my feed. So the question is, what do you call it? Quickest finger on the buzzer.
Fastest finger on the buzzer. He will get
fastest finger on the buzzer.
He will get this one day, won't he?
I will one day. It's too late now, mate. We've only got 1 week left.
Yeah,
so this is going to be last thing before we go. So let's get a winner. Who is the voice of Optimus Prime? Who voices Optimus Prime? Obviously, First person. Who voices Optimus Prime? Quick. We're going to have a winner within seconds, surely.
I don't know the answer to this. I know his voice.
Listen, if you don't know the answer to this, how do you even think you're going to beat me next week? We got a winner. We got a winner. We got a winner.
Who's the winner? Who's the winner?
Right. I just want to laugh at Slimeass.
What's he put?
Slimeass he's put a mixture of 2 names. He didn't win it. He didn't win it. Slimeass didn't win it. He put Peter Weller.
You think he means Paul Weller?
That's a mixture. No, that's a mixture of two characters. That's a mixture of Megatron and Optimus. Because it's the answers.
If he'd got the answer right, would he have been the first answer?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Right,
he was like
Theo,
third or fourth.
It don't really matter anyway, does it?
Right, hold on. Let me have a little look. 1 sec. Oh God.
Who's the winner?
What's happening? 1 sec. Where are we? Let's go back a little bit. Where are we? Someone ripped Peter Walked. Retro said. I think people were getting mixed up with the 2 names, didn't they?
He's a beautiful figure, isn't he?
Where are we? Yeah, so we got a winner. Sorry, I had to go back a little bit.
Simon Jones.
Yeah.
He's a winner. Well done, Simon.
There you go. Simon Jones on Facebook. You
Simon.
You messaged me, buddy. Sorry. I had to go back a little bit because quite a few people came in. In fact, there were so many people on the same time. Rob from Tats and Toys, Rich Hawkins, but it's how it comes in order on my thing. Slimeass put Peter Weller, Lee Spartan got it right, Scott Walker got it right, Frank Sales got it right, obviously. Ian put Big C.
well, could have been, couldn't it? Could have been me.
Slimeass said, I knew I fucked up as soon as I sent it. Retro said, autocorrect fucked me as well. Peter Weller's RoboCop. Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's the original RoboCop.
No, sorry, I got confused. I'm thinking Megatron was voiced by Frank Welker. Sorry, not Weller. I was thinking Weller.
You're thinking of Paul
yeah,
Weller.
Simon.
Get in, Simon. Simon's won it. Yeah, Simon's won it.
Message me,
Fair play.
Simon.
Fair play.
And I'll post it in the next couple of days. Message the Pizarro's Pieces Facebook page, and I'll get your address and send it off for you. Congratulations on that. Now, next week, obviously, being our last show, Gaming Toy Boy, I just want to tell you, he has Destro mint box, mate.
I love that.
What are your thoughts on that?
I love that. No, I love that. I love that. I'd like to get them all, but I've got them all loose, all complete. I'd like to get them. Mint in box. Yeah.
Next week, Big C prizes. Well, I think we're gonna have to come.
It's going to be a bonanza.
It's going to be a busy show.
We're going to be giving away my busted up. We're going to be giving away my busted up version of Stalker, not this one. This is the fresh one. We're going to be giving up the busted one. It's going next week. Honestly, it's going next week.
Mate, I think
some of the other bits.
Some of the other bits. Mate, I think you should sign him, mate. I think you should sign him.
I'm going to sign him. I'll sign him for a lucky fan and send him off. Someone's going to get a busted up Stalker from G.I. Joe.
Oh,
promise.
Not me. I'm not going to be involved. Thank you very much, Amar. Listen, as
Cheers,
always,
Amar.
Thanks to, let me just pull that off. Thanks to obviously everyone who's watched. And obviously a massive thank you to everyone who supported the live stream over the last 3 months. It's been really good fun. We've really enjoyed it. Tonight's been really good as well. And obviously we haven't had a special guest. Just you. You're not. There's nothing special about you, unfortunately, mate. So.
And normally we didn't have a real structure tonight. It was just a free for all, wasn't it?
No,
it was the first one we've done where we didn't really have segments.
I completely forgot
all that rubbish.
I completely forgot about this.
Yeah, you should have turned the phone on. We could have got some people online, but we've got the phone maybe next week. Who knows?
I think it's going to be a bit tough. I think it's going to be a bit tough to have the. Thanks for everyone. Obviously, everyone's sending
Rich.
all the messages for.
Cheers.
I think it's going to be emotional next week.
Yeah, for us as well. We'll get your tissues. We'll get your tissues ready.
Yeah, get your tissues ready, mate. Get your tissues. Great show. Thank you very much, Gary. Appreciate it. Great talk. And Love Hammer.
Cheers, Scott. My new name. Told you. Cheers, Aaron. Means a lot coming from Aaron.
Aaron's done 12 months, mate.
That's what I'm saying. It means a lot coming from Aaron. Aaron knows the work that these weekly, shows you have to put in to do them, and he's been doing his now for 12 months, and they're still carrying on strong. So. Yeah.
Frank, big supporter of the show. Thank you very much, mate. And Dave, Vintage Toy Rush, loads of comments coming in. John Lamont, I think that's your first comment. Just said, cheers, lads. John Lamont.
Cheers, John.
Yeah.
Cheers, John Lamont. I like that.
Yeah. We'll all miss the Love Hammer.
I told you, Tom. I told you. If you start calling yourself the Love Hammer and you want to be the Love Hammer, the people like Rich Hawkins now know me as the Love Hammer. So it's come full circle. I am known to the people as the Love Hammer.
Congratulations to this week's winner as well, Simon, on this. Like I said,
well done, Simon.
Don't forget. We're really looking forward to next week. It's going to be great fun. We're going to have a good laugh with it. And we'll squeeze some competitions into next week. I'll get some bits and pieces together. And
it's going to be an extravaganza.
It's going to be good fun. It's going to be. It's definitely going to be. Excuse me. Thank you very much, Lee. Loved him for the last.
Cheers, Lee.
Thank you,
mate. It means a lot, Lee. And hopefully watch next week. It'll be a good one.
Thank you. Thanks, Aaron, mate. Appreciate that.
Cheers, Aaron.
Big up, Theo. Big up,
cheers,
PG
Theo.
Westy.
Cheers, PG Westy. Top boys.
I'm gonna wrap it up there, Mr. Big C. We'll
thank you, everyone.
We'll obviously have a little chat afterwards, but. Guys, everyone who's watching on YouTube, make sure you give the video a thumbs up, etc. The notifications and all that.
Actually, let's do the opposite. Let's see how many dislikes we can get. Everyone, hit that dislike button. Let's see how many we can get. Let's break the record. Tom did a car boot one. He slagged off a few resellers and he got 40 odd dislikes. Let's try and smash that record. Come on. Take the like button. Take your likes off the like button and put them on the dislike. I want to see if we can get some record dislike numbers.
I didn't get 40 dislikes. I got about 15.
But listen, I've got one more week left to destroy his channel. So I'm going to be trying everything I can to do that.
Very nasty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, until next Monday.
Cheers, guys.
Take care, everyone. And hope you all had a good Easter. See you soon.
See you later.